Title: Reclaiming Canada's Track, Pierre Poilievre's Crusade for Civility, and the Struggle Against Ideological Extremes. Skills Gap Trainer Comment. Ever feel like our political scene has more plot twists than a Cold War spy novel? What if climate ideologies were actually putting a lid on our ability to solve climate change by restricting our development and therefore our ability to build out clean energy systems for countries around the world, stifling our business production rate compared to other nations? And what if sexual ideologies, rather than merely advocating love and equality, were part of a grand scheme encouraging men to opt out of society and productivity? Wild theories, right? Now, let's consider the puppeteers behind the scenes. Could it be the CIA, the World Economic Forum, Russia, the CCP, or maybe a plot twist, a villainous alliance of Russia and the CCP, like a diabolical duo straight from a Bond movie? Don't overlook our Canadian gatekeepers, the Loyalists, the locally bred Laurentian elite of Toronto and Ottawa. Their seeming kinship with the steadfast British rulers, a penchant for hierarchy, class, the rule of experts, and deference to authority, echoes strangely with the CCP's playbook. Did you ever wonder why climate ideologies and sexual ideologies seem to hog the limelight perpetually and indefinitely? Like a long-running sitcom, with no interruptions, they've been in the spotlight for decades. Those climate posters from the 1970s or those sex-related posters from 2004 in our educational institutions have practically turned into vintage classics. Could this be coincidence or a well-rehearsed act? And then there's Trudeau, seemingly on a campaign to make climate ideologies and sexual ideologies the thing of the 21st century. It's as though he's leading us into a rule by scientists and experts revolution that mirrors the CCP's authoritarian technocracy. Quite a transformation, wouldn't you say? Enter stage right, Pierre, embodying the spirit of Thomas Jefferson, wielding common sense, voting, bridging the gap to the ideas of everyday citizens, democracy, and a desire to restore some of the philosophical strength and beauty of the Founding Fathers' vision. Our political superhero, championing key philosophical concepts from yesteryears, such as the dignity of man, while dodging less savory elements like Satanism, mysticism, and elitism. Interestingly, this mirrors Archbishop Fultonchine's 50-year-old predictions for 2024. It's like clockwork. Now, Canada finds itself in a tug-of-war between the CCP and the USA, with the very essence of revolution up for grabs. Do we side with Jefferson's ideals or those of Saint Just, notorious for his reign of terror during the French Revolution? The type of revolution USA will have, and Canada will have, is a decision still left to be made. Perhaps Canadians will choose the right kind of revolution, in the same way we knew what the right kind of revolution was the last time around for that time period, and the way USA knew at that time what the right kind was good for them. But hey, let's not get too serious. These are all just whimsical musings and questions. Who doesn't enjoy a bit of conspiracy theory to liven up the discourse, right? Just remember, these theories are in good fun and not a foundation for serious arguments or decisions. Reality is often more nuanced and intricate than it first appears. And remember, things in the mirror may be closer than they appear, because surely, none of this could actually be real. Cut it. Skills Gap Trainer Comment. Pierre Poilievre, a symbol of civility, exhibits a commitment to uphold the values of digital and physical freedom, embodying deep respect for all Canadians. It's our duty as ethical human beings to honor such champions, individuals like Pierre, who are true representatives of a positive spirit and the dignity of Canada. Turning a blind eye to this duty jeopardizes our connection to the core of our collective soul, the fabric that interlinks us as dignified human beings. On the flip side, we have citizens who stay silent about societal wrongs, lack analytical balance, view the world through a distorted prism, discard civility, disregard human dignity, and dismiss intellectual reasoning and rationality. When their world spirals out of control, leaving them exposed and unable to maintain a stronghold, they will crumble into the dustbin of history. Acknowledging, confronting, and learning from our mistakes form the bedrock of personal and professional development. If it were to occur, as Ryan says, that citizens were to avoid voting for Pierre as part of some sort of rebellious anti-ethical mindset, then citizens across the nation would face the consequences of not voting for Pierre and would fall into the dustbin of history. This isn't a condemnation, but one can look at the upside of devilish actions. For example, the mistake of not voting for Pierre could serve as a tremendous learning opportunity. Confronting the harsh realities likely as an outcome from not voting for Pierre could serve as a historic and epic reminder of the importance of civility, dignity, and professional and industrial growth, and authentic and principled voting practice. It could be a huge nudge towards the recovery of Canada and the future development of Canada, by serving as an eternal lesson, an eternal reminder as to the importance of professional analysis, authentic and principled voting, or what Canada could have been if votes were to have been cast for Pierre based on an honest evaluation method as to the realities in Canada. This brings us to the essence of professionalism. Professionalism urges us to vote with our hearts and minds, to stand united for the dignity and professionalism of humanity. When we stray from our principles, such as nihilistic voting practices, they encourage us to face the aftermath and learn from our missteps. This approach doesn't damn us, but rather opens up opportunities for growth and evolution throughout a difficult and painful experience, evoking hardship that is likely to result from nihilistic voting practice. And ultimately, our voting mistakes can serve as a vivid reminder of the heights our nation could reach with genuine evaluation and principled voting practice. Skills Gap Trainer Comment. This reminds us of the film Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand, where Pierre is a businessman who works hard at all costs to keep the train running, and he's offering us a superior steel that will work. Meanwhile, Trudeau is a passenger on a private jet, flying to other dimensions and exploring the scenic islands in another reality.